everybody, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and today's yin yoga practice is going to really focus deep within the hips, the glutes particularly, just opening up the lower half of our bodies. I recommend you bring a block. There's really no other props that I highly recommend for today's practice. Take it slowly, focus on your breath. We're going to start out in kneeling, so you might want to use that block as we get started. 2 minutes till class starts. I'm going to turn my air conditioning off. Make sure you're wearing something comfortable so that you can relax in the postures and you don't find yourself fidgeting or adjust what you're wearing. 2 minutes till we start in kneeling. Feel free to do whatever works for you. Before that, I'm going to make my area smell great. Not saying that having a bird and a dog doesn't smell great. Sometimes the bird doesn't smell great. Anyway, though. Honesty with Jess. Get out of my way. Okay, everyone, it's that magical time. It is 4:30 on a Wednesday, so let's make our way down towards the floor and we'll get started with our yin yoga practice. Go back. Find some space for yourself. All right, practice has officially started, and we're beginning today in kneeling posture. If kneeling posture is uncomfortable for you, whether it feels like too much pressure on your knees or in your quads, using a block and sitting yourself up can start to relieve some of the tension that you're feeling. However, if your calves are really super sore, like I know mine were last week, using an extra prop to get some self-myofascial release while we hang out in kneeling might feel great too. So you might think about taking a rolled up towel or even a rolled up sock and placing that at the tender spot and coming back into kneeling position. We're gonna stay here. I can see this timer much easier. We got 2 minutes from right now to just relax into your breath. Relax your body, relax your mind. Make sure you're breathing all the way down to the very bottom of your diaphragm. Already start to find your drishti, your focus, somewhere gently forward so that your chin can be neutral to your chest, so that there's no extension or retraction through the neck. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving, so work to relax your eyes as much as you are relaxing your mind and your breath. Just start to notice right now how your body is feeling today. What sort of thoughts popped into your head when you asked yourself how your body felt today? Did you think about specific aches or pains that you might have had? Did you think about a workout that maybe you got in earlier today or yesterday and how proud you are of all the things that your body can do? Maybe you noticed that your body felt tired or awake. Just notice wherever your thoughts originally came. What does that mean to you, if anything? Bring it back to your breath. Work to make that exhale a little bit longer. Let go of any tension that you might have found in your body or in your mind. Just a couple breaths left right here. Take your time. We're going to release ourselves off of the block and come into do-do-do-do. Tabletop. Oh my gosh, words. Words are amazing. I recommend having your block at the top of your mat. We're going to come into a hip opener next. We're going for a little winged dragon. So if you need to give yourself a couple cat-cows right now, I promise we have lots of cat-cow coming up between our hip opener and a spine twist that we're going to get here. But first, let's work to open those hips. Bring whichever foot forward that you would like to first. It looks like I'm bringing my left foot forward, but I'm really bringing what's actually my right foot forward because I want you to be able to see what's happening and not be blocked by my leg. All right, you can either wiggle your back leg back a little bit more or simply hinge forward just more from the hips to start to feel that opening of whichever leg you have extended behind you. Lower yourself down, and as you do so, start to externally rotate your femur so you are rolling a little bit towards the outside of your foot. We're going to be here for 4 minutes, y'all. Going to give you an option 2 minutes in to change the stretch just a little bit if you want to. But I want you to find that relaxation in your upper body as much as possible here. Remember, you're working to create a stretch that is noticeable, and it might be uncomfortable, but it should not be painful. If at any point your stretch goes from being uncomfortable into feeling painful, I encourage you to gently walk yourself out. Find a new place that you can hang out, and if your body's really tight, maybe you barely hinged forward. Maybe that knee is not so much falling over to the side of the body. You should feel a big opening through the extended legs hip. Maybe a nice opening starting to happen through the glute of your bent knee. Ay, ay, ay. Bring that focus back to what's happening with your upper body and how much you can relax through your shoulders. If you'd like to, for our final 2 minutes here, you can reach your arm up towards the ceiling. Oh my gosh. Maybe even behind you, just in case reaching up is a little bit too much, to still find that nice opening of the chest and the stretch through the shoulder. That's not going to work for me today. I'm feeling real tight, so I'm just going to keep both of my hands down on the floor for some support. Coming into our final minute right here. Keep that breath slow. Even if your body feels uncomfortable, keep your breath in a comfortable place. Take your time, move with intention, press yourself back up off of your bent arm. Return your front leg into tabletop with the back. We got 1 minute of cat-cow right here. And maybe you decide you'd rather focus on giving yourself some circles through the hips to help relieve any stress that was created. Maybe you're focusing more on creating a little bit more space in your upper body. Remember, cat-cow doesn't have to be just up and down. It can be side to side. But if you do something in one direction, do your best to also, even Stevens, do the same thing in the opposite direction, which I think is this way. We're going to take a moment and come off of our knees, but don't worry, we're going to return to the same thing we just did. The opposite side. First, we're going to go for a seated spine twist. So go ahead, come back into kneeling, and then shift your glutes to the side, extend your legs forward. Whichever leg you had forward is the same leg that you're now going to bend that knee and cross it over your extended leg. Reach that arm behind you like a kickstand. Inhale your extended legs, arm up, and find that nice little twist. If you're feeling really open and you'd like to get even deeper into the spine twist, you can take whichever leg you have towards the front, bend at the knee, fold it in, or reach it back towards your hip, but make sure you can still get both glutes on the floor. Really focus on finding this lift through the chest with your core engaged. Focus on the spine twist and create some relaxation through the lower half of your body. We have 2 minutes left right here. So don't feel like you need to be excessively deep in your twist. You don't have to go any deeper, but continue to work to find that lift of your chest and that engagement of your core so your back continues to feel good, supported. Shoulders are relaxed and released away from your ears. Enjoy this nice opening through the upper back. Final minute in this side spine twist. Take your time on your exhale, carefully untwist. Bring those legs back together. We're going to come back into tabletop, and you get another minute to cat-cow it out. So last time you might have felt like you really needed that cat-cow in the lower half of your body, whereas this time with that spine twist, depending on how tight your upper body is, you might find that you need a little bit more attention into your shoulders. Getting this minute of free movement, finding what feels right for you. Maybe Maybe you have no idea. You're just kind of shimmying on the floor or shaking your tail, passing some time. That's okay. When I first started exercising and doing yoga, oh my gosh, I was so out of tune. I had no idea. Let's go ahead and get that opposite side. So bring your opposite foot forward. Go ahead, shift the weight forward. Use your prop. Both sides of the body are not the same. So maybe you can't make it all the way down towards the floor on this side. And that's okay. Start to externally rotate your femur. Knee starts to fall gently towards the side. We got a total of 4 minutes here. We're already in it to win it. So you've got just a little over 3 minutes left. Remember, you can stay exactly as we are. We're in about a minute. You can go for that gentle twist and reach. Bring your attention right now to the upper body, shoulders. Notice if you're finding any rounding in that upper body. See if you can just relax. Draw your shoulders away from your ears gently. Just creating space in the upper body and still focusing on the stretch that you're making through your extended leg hip. Where do you feel it in your butt leg? Still feeling it in the glute, especially the more that you have this forward hinge, a little towards that inner thigh as well. If you'd like to work on a little more rotation here in the last 2 minutes of our stretch, go for it. Find what feels good. Work into that stillness though. I'm just going to stay right here. The slower you breathe, the faster it's over. We have 1 minute left. I think these are some of the hardest postures that we have to do today. So props to us, using our props. Got them out of the way in the very beginning, focusing on that really big stretch. Now we're going to be so much more flexible and so much more able to relax and find stillness as we move forward. Take your time, work your way back into lifting yourself up and tabletop. So bring some weight into your back knee, shift the weight, and then shift your leg back. 1 minute right now. Cat cow, however you want. How did that feel? How was the second side of your body? Personally, I thought it felt a little bit more manageable, knowing what to expect, how long we would be there. Was it easy? I did not say that. It was not easy. That was a lot of big stretch. This is the last time we're going to be on these hands palms today. So get any last stretches that feel good into your wrists while we're down here if you want to. Remember, it's your call how you're getting through these cat-cows. All right, take your time, shift yourself back into kneeling. Shift your glutes over to the side, extend your legs in front of you. Let's come into our spine twist on the opposite side. So beginning with that lift of the chest, whichever leg you have forward is the one you're going to cross over your opposite leg. You keep this opposite leg extended, only if you feel really comfortable, loose and flexible, if it feels good in your ankles, should you work to bring that back knee, that heel towards your glutes, I meant to say. I'm feeling kind of tight on this side, so I'm gonna keep it extended. Backhand behind you like a kickstand, and also to help you lift your chest. Inhale your arm up and over, and if you want, feel free to use your mat if it's there to take a nice little reach and hold. Continue with that lift and opening of the chest and the shoulders, and draw your belly in. I recommend looking over your back shoulder, but I'm going to look over to the top of the mat where I left the timers. Just find a place that you can be still. We got 2 minutes left right here. Feel free to close your eyes. Relax the lower half of your body and focus on the stretch through your spine. Last minute. Take your time, come into any sort of easy seated position of your choice. I just want to tell you about the two options that you have for our next posture. If your hips are really tight, if you don't want to sit up anymore, you can always lay down on your back and go for a threading of the needle. You can either have your feet on the floor, one foot on a block, reach through and actually thread the needle. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention bringing a strap because some people might enjoy that. However, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, we're going to go for a similar posture, sleeping swan. So start by folding we'll do right leg first. Fold that right leg in. Extend your left leg out behind you and then roll off of your right glute so that the left hip is closer towards the floor. You can relax your head down towards the floor, maybe even take a little bind of your head here. Get a nice little stretch of your neck. Find what feels good for you. We're gonna hang out and sleep like swans for 4 minutes. If you're feeling any like intense pressure in your knee or whatnot, go ahead, turn over, lay down on your back, enjoy the sleeping swan option. bind of your head, gently lift your head up. If you decided to lay down on your back, you get to roll over and sit yourself up. So next up, we got square pose. So whichever leg that you had on top or in the front is the leg that's going to be on top, I meant to say. All right, so take your bottom leg, fold it in. Take whichever leg you had on top and cross it over by the knee. Similar to how we had for our spine twist. Now sit down, bring your glutes to the floor, and we find ourselves in square pose. You can readjust those legs to try and stack them as much as possible. Also referred to as fire logs or sometimes double pigeon. Depending on how tight your hip is, you might not be able to get this upper leg anywhere close to your lower leg. So feel free to use a prop. Place a little prop there so you can relax. If you are able to more easily stack things and you don't feel any sort of a stretch through the hip, hinge forward. Just keep breathing. We're pretty much hitting all of these beginning and middle postures of class for 4 minutes. So relax here. Find a way to relax your upper body. Maybe relax your arms in your lap. You can even apply a little pressure to help you stack those fire logs. Can you flex your toes gently in towards each other also? Great news. Change my mind. We're only going to do this posture for 3 minutes. So you're almost done. If you're going to go back into sleeping swan for the opposite side, the great news is that you already have the leg down on the floor that you want towards the front. Otherwise, in just a moment, you're going to take your time, gently roll onto your back again, switch your legs, and you're thread the needle. If you're coming back into sleeping swan, we're just going to take our top leg and gently shift it behind us. Once it gets there, rolling onto the quad. So we're coming off of our back, of our front leg's glute, and working to bring that hip flexor closer to the floor. Maybe your shin is really close to your elbows, and maybe your heel is really close to your hip. Find what works for you. We've got a total of 4 minutes right here. Feel free to sleep, you beautiful swans, and bring your head down if that feels right for you, taking those wrinkles out of your neck, even bringing a nice little stretch to the upper back and shoulders. final minute right here. Take your time, lift yourself up. If you were sleeping, shift the weight back into your front leg glute. Whichever leg was in the front is on top this time, so switch your legs around. Bring your heel to the outside of your knee. Take your time, sit yourself down. Stack those legs like fire logs. Work to get your shins parallel to each other. Oof. Remember, you can always use a block if your hips aren't quite open and you can't easily stack your knees. In fact, most people cannot easily stack their legs like this. I'm sure there's another yoga posture that you can do way better than me, though. So it's not all or nothing. Every day is different. Each side of our body is different. So just be kind. Enjoy what you can. Flexibility 100% can be learned. You do yoga to become more flexible. And also, your practice can help to bring strength. So it's a nice blend. Two minutes left right here. Find that relaxation right now in your upper body and just focus on the opening that you're creating throughout your hips, throughout your glutes. Maybe you even feel it a little in those quads and hamstrings, just depending on how tight your body is feeling today. Flexing your toes towards each other can bring a little more stretch into the calves. Get that whole lower body right here, just sitting on the floor. If you took a forward hinge, lift yourself up, bring your hands behind you, take your time, plant the soles of both feet on the floor, windshield wipe your legs right and left, right and left. Really take that roll as much as you can, side to side. Because next up we got deer pose, so we're going to come into that 90-90 position, whichever side you'd like to come to first. Shift it over into two 90-degree angles. I'm going to turn myself just a little bit, because after you've got those two 90-degree angles, I want you to focus on bringing that back glute to the floor. And we're going to turn towards the front thigh. Find a nice big stretch through the lower back. If that's not feeling right for you today, if you want even more of a stretch through the back and the sides, you can allow that left glute to lift up off of the floor. Bring both forearms down towards the mat. Might even feel it with both hands stretched. But if you're having any sort of lower back issues, work to stay as planted here as possible and just gently turn in the direction of your front leg. Oh yeah. If you brought those forearms to the ground, take your time, walk yourself back in. Return your back glute to the floor. Bring your hands behind you. Go ahead, bring your knees to the ceiling. Find your windshield wipers again. Oh yeah. And let's go ahead and drop to the opposite side. Yay! First starting off just working to get that back glute to the floor, creating a big stretch through that back side of the leg. Oh my gosh. If any of these stretches feel particularly amazing and right for you, feel free to hang out here the whole time. You don't have to keep going. We're working to find what's right for your body today. Otherwise, we're starting to turn towards our bent front leg. I'm pressing through the inner knee thigh part of my back leg to the floor to help work that glute down and to still continue to feel that big stretch. And if you want to bring it more towards that low or even mid back, see if you can get both hands to the floor. Maybe even your forearms to the mat. I can only get one forearm to the mat on this side. Props to the rescue. Feeling real fidgety, so I'm going to come back to a place that I know that I can hang out and still really enjoy the stretch. Oof. We got one more minute right here. Take your time, carefully untwist, bring that back glute down to the floor. Bring your hands behind you this time, extend your legs, take a moment, bob your knees, windshield wipe your feet, shake those shoulders out. With your hands, palms behind you, turn your fingers towards the back of the room. Take a deep inhale, lift through your chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, carefully come out. Let's lay all the way down. I think you're gonna like this next posture. It's Savasana. I want you to give it as much love and attention as you gave to all of the other big stretches that we had today. Savasana is a posture. It is corpse pose. It is like all of yin, because anytime you take Savasana in class, you're meant to be as still as possible. So closing out our practice with that complete stillness, melt into your mat as much as you can. Relax your head, release your jaw. Relax your chest and your back. Allow that belly to relax, release. And allow your body to be the paperweight that just keeps the floor where it is right now. Take this time in our last couple of breaths together to once again notice how your body feels. Do you feel more relaxed or open? Is it easier for you to take those slow breaths? Can you bring a gentle smile to your face and just be so proud of yourself for coming today? No matter what your body looked like or felt like or did, showing up is 100% where it gets started, in the mind. I encourage you to stay down here on the floor in this final Savasana for as long as possible, especially if you're jonesing to get up off of your mat. Stay here for 10 more slow breaths. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said or we did today, I hope that you'll reach out. Until we're together again, continue to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds. Take the time, because you're worth it, to nourish yourself from the inside out. And if you're looking for something fun to do, join the fitness center for our summer bingo challenge, which starts on Monday the 21st. You can always email us or just mention it in the comments, and I'm happy to send you a bingo card. I'm also just so thankful that you came to practice with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Know that the light within me honors, sees, and is eternally thankful for the light within you. Namaste.